Starlink works just fine. In fact, one of the better spots I've used it at Palo Duro Canyon State Park. We got here yesterday and set up, and I've got my dish right there. We've got a nice area here. We're in the RV spot at the Hackberry RV campsite. There's 3 or 4 RV campsites that I've seen so far, and there's a couple of tent campsites around here, and we're down in the valley, of course, but we have clear line of sight to the sky, which is the most important thing. I've used this at other parks in Alabama, mostly at Montesano State Park, and that has 20 to 30 foot tall trees all around the state park. Beautiful park, love staying there, but there's no clear line of sight to the sky for Starlink. So when we got here yesterday, I set up the Starlink, and I've got my router over there in front of on the table in front of the camper, and I'm getting about 14 megs up and about 123 megs down, and that's going from Android to the internet. So when you do a speed test on Starlink, it does 3 speed tests. It does Android to internet, Android to router, and router to internet. The only one you really care about is the Android to internet, because that's the most important one, right? So it's the router to internet is important, but then if you get farther and farther away from the router, you can kind of test distances between your smartphone and your tablet to the router, so that's useful for that. But the router to the internet's pretty much the most important one, and then if you're standing next to it, you can get your actual device that's online. It kind of depends on what you're trying to do, I guess, how far away you want to be from the router as to which one's more important. But to me, you know, this campsite's not very big. I got plenty of room here to spread out, but everything's right there next to the router. And getting 14 megs up and 123 down at Palo Duro Canyon State Park is a win for the Starlink category.